Welcome back. I've been playing New World for a week now, and I have a bunch of tips and tricks to share with you. You might already know about some of these, but hopefully you learn at least one new thing by the end of this video. Let's start with the trading post. You probably already know that each settlement has a separate trading post with different prices. Maybe I'm just blind, but did you know that in the top right hand corner you can select other towns and compare prices? For example, you can see that Crossweave is going for half a gold coin at Cutlass Keys where I am now, but over in Everfor I can get it 3 times cheaper. While we're talking about the UI, if you're trying to level up your crafting, it shows you in very small letters down in the bottom right hand corner the amount of XP that you will get for crafting certain items. But if you go up and change the filter to sort by XP, then it'll show you exactly how much XP you get for each and every item in the list. This makes it so much easier to figure out which items to craft to level up your trade skills. Damage from falling is pretty much non-existent in this game. If you're at the top of a very tall tower, feel free to just jump off to get down quickly. Now this next one is something that I figure most people have already sorted out by now. You can move much faster around the world if you roll and then immediately sheath your weapon. Normally when you roll, your character pauses for a second before they continue running. But if you sheath your weapon, your character won't pause and will keep on running. In the settings, you can set a hotkey which will swap your active weapons. This has the same effect as sheathing your weapon, so I'd recommend binding this button. I've bound it to one of the buttons on my mouse, and then every time you roll, get in the habit of pressing this button to move faster. Did you know that while your weapon is drawn, you cannot walk through other players who have their weapons drawn as well? If you sheath your weapon, then you can walk through friendly players. So if there's someone blocking your way, just sheath your weapon and walk through them. Now a tip on GearScore. Did you know that the items that drop for you get better as your GearScore increases? If some items drop that have a higher GearScore than what you're currently wearing, you should equip them. Even if the stats are terrible, even if it's not a weapon that you use, even if it's not the right type of armor for you, just equip it anyway. Then you can take it off and salvage it, but you need to equip it, at least temporarily. The game will then remember that your GearScore was high, and all future drops will be much better. Also, remember to lock your good gear. This prevents you from accidentally salvaging your good items by mistake. Here's another trick. You can use your potion slots to help with Encumbrance. Now this only works for some items, but let's say you've gone and gotten a few hundred water in your bags weighing you down. You can slap the entire lot into a potion slot to lighten your load. Alternatively, if you don't want to carry your water back to town, you can just set up a camp near the water, and then use it to craft the potions on location. This might save you a trip back to town. And while we're talking about camps, did you notice that you don't have to pay taxes when you're crafting out a camp? If you want to evade taxes from those dirty syndicate overlords, then just do as much crafting as you can from your camp. Now while we're talking about gathering, this one's pretty obvious, but keep an eye on the level of the food that you pick up. Some foods, like broccoli, are tier 4 and are much better than lower tier food, like squash, which is only tier 2. When you cook food, you can select from a lot of different ingredients. You should probably try and save your high tier ingredients for later. And while we're talking about gathering, make sure that you always loot all the supply crates that you see. It can be so easy to just ignore these if you don't have a quest telling you to loot them, but all the sandpaper, solvent, tannin and crossweave that you loot will definitely come in handy later on. And looting crates is really the only way to get these materials. When you auto-run, by default, your character will automatically climb obstacles. I've noticed that sometimes using auto-run makes my character climb cliffs that I otherwise can't get up. This might just be that I'm a really bad player, so I'm not sure how much of a tip this actually is. Have you ever been to check out your faction vendor, and you want to buy some gear because it looks cool, but it has the wrong stats for you? Your faction vendor sells seals that you can use to change the stats on faction gear. Simply buy a seal, they're pretty cheap, buy the gear that you want, and take both items to a crafting table. There will be a new recipe at the top that lets you reforge the stats that you want. Do you ever find yourself running low on Azoth? If you do, you might need to consider getting tools with the Azoth Gatherer perk. For example, if you get a sickle with Azoth Gatherer, then anytime you harvest anything, you have a chance to get a little bit of Azoth. It doesn't sound like much, but believe me, it sure does add up. So whenever you craft tools, it's a good idea to use as much Azoth as you can to try and get some decent perks. Let's have a quick look at spirit shrines. Did you know that every spirit shrine looks the same on the world map? This can make it slightly easier to work out exactly where the shrine is, which makes it easier to navigate around cliffs and monsters and things to unlock your next fast travel point. If you're looking for materials together, there's a website called newworld-map.com. You can use this to find exactly where things spawn. It's not perfect, but it's pretty good for getting an idea of where to find materials. For example, here's the location of all the fishing hotspots in the game. Or, if you want someone to simply show you the best places to farm, you can check out some of the farming guides that I've put up on my channel. Now you probably know that you can't open your inventory while you're mining or gathering. Hopefully this is something that's fixed relatively soon in a patch or something. But in the meantime, there is a bit of an awkward workaround. If you're mining, you can press escape to pull up the menu. Then you can use your mouse to click just below the bag where it says tab. And voila, you can browse your inventory while you're mining. Now I've saved up the best tip until last. This is my absolute best New World tip. Maybe I should have started the video with this one. This might not sound like a very good tip, but trust me, you will get a lot of XP if you do this. The town project boards often have a lot of quests available, and a lot of these quests are ones that you have no intention of ever actually doing. What you should do is accept the quests you don't want to do, and then immediately abandon them. There's a timer in the top right corner. Every time this timer hits 0, all the quests refresh. So make sure you abandon all the garbage quests so that when the refresh happens, you have a good chance of getting some better ones. This also works for the faction quests. Now as a special bonus tip, did you know that when you're lying prone on the ground you can do a barrel roll? Just by dodging to the left or the right. Pretty cool. I hope that at least one of these tips was helpful. If you have a mate who could use some of these tips, send them this video. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next time.